I hear so much about people having their spiritual awakening and remembering this time where they had this dark night of the soul and this really difficult phase of their life, and then they came through it and they had these revelations, and now they're off and now they live their life in this way and they make these kind of decisions, and everything kind of came together. um, and I just think for me it's like a series of almost back to back awakenings. And I go through something really challenging where there is that dark night of the soul that's never a night, it's always like weeks or months, and you're moving through trying to understand, what am I releasing, what am I letting go of, what am I learning, and these little cracks of light come in through the wounds, the wounds create this opening for these new perspectives and these new shifts to come in. And I love that, and I love the way life is so progressive like that. It's just to say that I think for a lot of us, especially this year, it seems like the awakenings are so full on. It's like I personally have, I don't know, weeks, days, months, or whatever of, it's intense. I'm definitely not feeling this kind of bright light, all is well. I'm feeling like I'm moving through stuff and I'm figuring some stuff out, and I'm yearning for time to myself, peace and quiet. I'm very much more sensitive to sensory things, craving that solitude so that I can reflect and figure and try not to get too heavy about it. There's definitely this sense that you emerge from that, and this time it feels like the emerging is much more about, I'm even more surrendered now, I'm even more going with the flow now, I'm even more trusting in this uncertainty, I'm even more at ease with just letting things unfold and knowing that I have an intention of how I want things to go in terms of how I want them to feel. But I've learnt over the years that my ego will make up stories around that, and sometimes those stories are right, and that is the sort of direction I want to be going in, or that is what I want to be doing. But sometimes something greater than me or something bigger is better than I am at crafting what that's going to look like and bringing about that end product result. And it's never an end. It's never an end. It's always the next beginning. And I think recently it's been back to back, waking up feeling quite almost melancholy and very deep in thought, but so much more okay with it, because we're learning to suffer less when these things are kicking off, when we're moving through and riding the waves. It's that sense of trust. Oh, this is just moving through me. Oh, this is alerting me to something that's shifting, that's moving, that's healing, that's also with me whilst I'm trying to just live and lighten up a bit and just, enjoy a few little moments here and there of things that are simple and things that are straightforward, whilst really respecting the fact that there is this constant ongoing process of development. And if you are evolving, if you are of that ilk, you will find that it's like, and just as you think you're moving towards something that feels right and you've made a decision and it's going in the right direction, you will get a whole load more of this kind of debris of, this is just, it's like moving house. You're moving from one place of being to another place of being with a deeper sense of trust and going with it and tuning into your instinct and taking inspired action. And as you're doing that and you're seeing where you're going, and you've changed something tangibly in your life about your work, your balance, your relationship, whatever it might be, and it's never a smooth sailing. It's always like you're moving house, so everything's like chaos and overwhelming and crazy, and there's this weird crossover period. And it is just like, yes, the removal vans and the boxes everywhere and the nothing's where it should be and everything's just, and you're throwing things away and you're welcoming in the new and you're creating new things and new space, and it's like that, but it's your actual life and it's your feelings and your energy and everything else that goes with it. So I just think that's so fascinating. And yeah, if anyone else is out there thinking, hey, isn't it How is it like this one awakening and then all is well? I think sometimes when you're in a good place and you've emerged, you think you're there. You think you're there and you're like, oh, this is great. I figured it and it's all falling into place and this new door's opened up and it's all really great. And you're preaching to everybody, oh, I've done it. I got there. And, I had this dark time and then it all shifted. And those people forget, oh, actually there were lots of dark times and then there were lots of emergencies and there were lots of revelations and lots of times with peace and joy and excitement and flow. And then I went back down again. And that's the joy of living and being alive, and how I'm now of this feeling that when I'm in those darker places and things are quieter or more raw or more tricky, or I'm feeling that sort of weird twist in my body of something's niggling me, I'm not sure quite what it is, I started to feel like, ooh, I wonder what I'm going to get out of this then, because every time I'm in that pit, I come out with this nugget of new wisdom or new freedom, a new perspective. There's always something that comes, and it's like, just ferreting through and finding those little nuggets of gold. They're always there. So I'm starting to think, oh, it's a bit exciting when I'm in the trenches, because I'm figuring something out, something else is shifting, something else is healing, something else is becoming. And it's going to be exciting to get that revelation feeling and then to move into that new energy. I'm just making peace with the fact that coming up for air and feeling that, oh, that's better, is only lasting hours or days before the next one. And I guess I signed up for the advanced track. I guess at some point my soul was like, yeah, let's just do it, let's crack on, let's do the advanced version. I'd like to do the masters in a year, it's that kind of, yeah, let's crack on to the PhD. I don't want to do this part-time, and I don't want to do the easy version. I want to go for it and get results. So solitude, if anybody else is going through that, but that's definitely my take on the perpetual awakenings. Hang on in there. Get better at riding them out, get better at trusting, get better at leaning in, get better for asking for help, get better at surrendering, and just assume that everything is conspiring to help you. So, lots of love.